pretty quick. Well, for just the fourth time in 35 years, the Utah Jazz are in the market for a new head coach. Greg Wrubell is here with us tonight. We know that Ty Corbin won't be here next season.
Yeah, we saw it coming, but still with a franchise like the Jazz, these changes are rather abrupt. As the coach of a team with the worst record in the NBA West this past season, and with a losing record as the Jazz head coach overall, Ty Corbin had to suspect that the ice beneath his feet was thin. But past struggles and a current youth movement didn't make Monday's news any easier for him to accept.
As you would suspect, disappointed. Wished us the best as we wish him the best. You know, he's Jazz fiber through and through, and again, just what you would think. He's a gentleman in every way.
Part of the Utah Jazz family for 13 of the last 23 years, Corbin was a good fit for a franchise that cherishes stability. But now rebuilding, management decided that the current reality trumped career loyalty.
Sometimes you can have a philosophy that has great synergy, but it just be the wrong time for a marriage or for a relationship. And sometimes there are going to be differences of opinion on whether it be personnel or what you're doing with the personnel. So I think you have to assume that there were some different thoughts, and again, that's one of the reasons why we made the decision we made today. We were looking at a lot of different criteria over multiple years. We feel at this time we're just going to stand by the decision, and that it was a multi-year decision.
So now, will the Jazz interrupt a franchise trend with their next coaching hire? More on that coming up in a few.
It should be very interesting to see what's next.
Yeah.
All right, Greg, thanks. Mike?
As you saw earlier, the Jazz not renewing Ty Corbin's contract as the Utah Jazz head coach. Let go by the Jazz, and last week he said he expected to return to the Jazz sidelines, but the fourth worst record in the NBA this past season and only one playoff appearance in 4 seasons made it tough on Ty, as did the team's current youth movement. The Jazz developing roster will soon be the new responsibility of, well, the next guy. And all Utah Jazz coaches up to this point have been internal hires. Frank Layden came in from the front office when they fired Tom Naselke. Jerry Sloan took over in 1989 when Frank retired, and then Ty Corbin took over mid-season when Jerry suddenly resigned 4 years ago. Team brass say the new search will be open-ended and may not necessarily follow the franchise pattern of promoting from within.
We're not going to limit ourselves prematurely by defining any, people or objectives that we're looking for or criteria. We haven't had one conversation in regards to other names.
Now, there is some urgency to fill the open vacancy with the draft and summer league just around the bend, but when asked about a hiring timetable, Lindsay said, however long it takes to get the best man in the seat. A couple of other NBA coaching seats left open today in New York. Knicks president Phil Jackson fired Mike Woodson and his staff, while in Minnesota, well-traveled head man Rick Adelman stepped down and into retirement. Will stay on as a team advisor. 2 NBA playoff games on tonight's docket. Game 2, and OKC had the Thunder up a game on Memphis, but down 5 late until Kevin Durant challenges known laws of physics for this 4-point play. For him, it goes in. Down 2 in the closing seconds. Russell Westbrook missing the 3. Kendrick Perkins with a horn-beating stick back, and we're going to overtime. But in the extra session, the Grizzlies got after it and fought back to Zach Randolph and won, helping Memphis to the 111-105 win. That series even at 1 underway in L.A. Clippers and Golden State. Clippers with a 1-game-to-none deficit they're facing, but handling the Warriors pretty well tonight. That's going to do it.
Yeah, that Durant shot was incredible, wasn't it?
For someone like him, though, it's like he practices those things. It's so smooth.
All right, pretty big day.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah, see you guys.
We'll be right back.